On, motherfucker, now, as promised. The passing of Mitzi Shore, owner of the Comedy Store out in L.A. It's been a long 2,000 years since the end of the New Testament. Myself and St. Pierre, we've been up to a lot of shenanigans, besides, of course, doing radio shows from spring break in Cancun, Mexico, as we're doing right now. Although St. Pierre's not here, he's very pissed about that. And that's too bad, because there's really don't care enough to do anything about that. Don't give a shit. Fuck him. So anyway, what we got going on here is Profiles in Death on Mitzi Shore. We were on the radio a lot in the last 80 or so years. Last 2,000 years have been a blur. We did a lot of radio in a lot of markets in the last several decades. A lot of times we were in L.A. One of those times was just the premise of this Profile in Death, this story. When we crossed paths with Mitzi Shore, she was on our show in L.A. in 1981. She thought St. Peter was kind of charming, kind of funny, which is weird, because most people don't have that reaction to St. Peter. So she offered him, because he said he was going to try to start stand-up. You want to do a little stand-up? Start a little stand-up career. So if you know St. Peter, well, that's, in itself is funny. It's maybe the funniest stand-up joke ever. St. Peter doing stand-up. She said, you know what, come down to the Comedy Store tonight, get up there, tell some jokes, we'll see what people think. So, St. Peter did. I was in the audience that night. I remember some of the jokes. Because they're forever. There's a lot I don't remember about life. But it's forever ingrained, burned into my head, some of these jokes that St. Peter told that night at the Comedy Store. In front of me, in front of Mitzi Shore, in front of everyone. Wrote them down so I can remember them. So anyway, he wanted to be a stand-up star. He was doing observational humor. It was big in the early 80s, as it would continue to be for the next decade or so. Observational humor. His first joke, I'll never forget it, the first sentence out of his mouth was, "What's the deal with pills?" What's the deal with pills? Then he did like 30-second spiel on why pills are hard to snort because they're in pill form and they're not in crushed little powder form, and they should have an option where you could get it in crushed little powder form so that the pills would be easier to snort up your nose. That joke died. And there's a lot of pillheads in that crowd in 1981. That joke died. It died like Nicole Brown Simpson. Yeah, that's right. I don't mind going back to a joke twice or even 7 times. I don't care. I have no shame when it comes to that. The next joke, after that bombed the fuck out, the next joke that St. Peter told went along something like this. He said, "Don't you hate it when you're trying to bang a chick in a wheelchair and her wheelchair keeps rolling?" Yeah. That was the reaction. Dead silence. Don't you hate it when you're trying to bang a chick in a wheelchair and her wheelchair keeps rolling? First of all, why wouldn't you just put the brake on the wheelchair? I don't understand. Wheelchairs have brakes? Did wheelchairs have brakes in 1981? I've never gotten that joke. People in the audience didn't get it either, because it died. It's the last joke I remember St. Peter telling that night. Why won't herpes go away? What's the deal with that? Why won't herpes go away? What's the deal with that? At this point, people started booing and hissing and throwing things at St. Peter. Everything they could get their hands on, they just started chucking it at St. Peter. Suffice it to say, his stand-up debut did not go well. That was the last time he was ever on stage. He was run off the stage. He was booed off the stage. Mitzi Shore told him to get the fuck out and never come back. And that's what happened. St. Pierre never stepped another foot in the Comedy Store. And last week, Mitzi Shore passed away. End of an era. That has been Profiles in Death on Mitzi Shore. This is the Stoner Jesus Show Live, Chapter 1, Verse 37, live from spring break in Cancun, Mexico. That's right. Live from spring break in Cancun, Mexico, as you can clearly see from what you're witnessing in front of you and what's behind me.